Hey out there, legal warriors, I've got another video for you today. And I'm going to cover today, can a police officer search your car? That's a question we get all the time. I think it covers pretty much all of us here in Washington State. And so if that's an interesting topic to you, please stay tuned. My name is Lance Fryrear, and I'm a defense attorney in Linwood, Washington. I've been defending crimes for more than 20 years. And I'm putting out these videos to educate the public. So if you find this useful, please like and please subscribe. More people will get the information they need. In this video, we're covering, can an officer search your car? And we get that question all the time. You're driving down the road, you get pulled over, the officer doesn't like the looks of you or somebody in your car, they don't like what they see in your car, and they say, hey, get out, I'm gonna search your car, or do you mind if I search your car? Well, most of us feel intimidated in that situation, right? You know, what do we have to hide? Go ahead, these type of things. And for the most part, an officer does not have the right to search your motor vehicle unless you give consent, unless they arrest you and for a crime, and then they can, do a cursory search for certain sort of lunge areas. The case law changes all the time. Or if they get a search warrant, right? They cannot just search your car. And you don't want to give permission to search your car in most cases, in case you're worried, right? If you're worried there's something in there, or you're the type of person that's had friends, maybe they might leave something behind you're worried about. And it may not apply to all of us. A lot of people don't have anything to worry about an officer searching their car, but this video is about whether or not they have the right to. So you have the right to say no. And let's say you do give consent to search your car. Well, an officer should give you something called a Fryrear warning. Fryrear warning is basically letting you know, and it's typically in writing, that you are being asked for permission to search your vehicle and that you have the right to limit the scope of the search. Hey, you can search this area, but not the trunk. You have the right to withdraw consent at any time during the search. And a defense attorney would argue that if you give consent to search your motor vehicle without a Fryrear warning, that anything the officer finds, in many cases, we can make an argument that that should not be allowed into evidence. So if you're going to consent, the officer should have you give a affirmative answer that yes, you understand these Fryrear warnings and that you understand you can limit the scope of the search or stop the search at any time. So what if you say no? Okay, what's the downside to saying no to the officer? What options does the officer have at that point? How can this officer ruin your day? Well, the main way an officer can ruin your day in that situation is arrest you. Maybe they have probable cause, or they're close. They think they have enough to arrest you for a case. They can arrest you, and then they can get some limited ability to search your car at that point. More likely, what the officer can do to wreck your day is they can impound your vehicle. Right? They can say, okay, well, you don't want to search. I don't have enough to arrest you yet. I suspect there's something in your car. I suspect there's drugs or something like that. So you can go on your way, but I'm taking your car. And I get calls from people monthly about, hey, an officer has my car. When can I get it back? And the answer is, it varies. If an officer impounds your car, now they're going to apply for a search warrant. They're going to write the reasons why they suspected things. Maybe they saw something in the car they thought was illegal, a needle or something, and they tow the car to the police lot. They write out that search warrant for the officer or for the judge, and it takes a while for the judge to get back, and they'll get around to searching it when they want. It can be days or even weeks until you have your car back, and let's face it, if we have to drive to work or we have to take our kids to school, that's a big deal. So realize that if we're just standing up to the government and saying, hey, you have no right to search the car, too bad, and you don't really have anything in there, realize you might be creating a difficult situation for yourself. Another situation that we have to worry ourselves about searching cars is constructive possession, right? Let's say that you're a a passenger in the car, right? And if you're a passenger in the car, it's not your car, and the officer has asked for permission to search, and the driver says, go ahead and search. Well, if they find things that are near where you were seated, if you're a passenger and it's not your car, they can't necessarily put that on you. However, anything in the car, they can probably put on the driver through something called constructive possession. You're supposed to know what's in your car. There's exceptions, and it's all about a factual argument, right? If there's a backpack that's got, Mr. X's name in the backpack, some ID, and it's Miss Y that's the owner of the car, well, it's pretty closely associated with Mr. X. They're going to sort of blame that person. So there's constructive possession issues to worry about when searching vehicles. There's also something called plain view. If an officer walks up after a traffic stop and they put the flashlight in, and then they see something clearly illegal in there, right? They've got a report of something stolen from Target, and they see the description of property that's what was stolen. Well, they might develop more reasons to be able to make an arrest and then recover the property. So it varies, but what I want you to take from this video is that you do not have to consent to a search of your vehicle. An officer has no right automatically to search your vehicle. And there's pluses and minuses of these situations. And for the most part, I want you to use common sense, but don't feel intimidated. So I hope you found this video useful. If so, please like and please subscribe. And if you find yourself in a situation where something like this has come up, or you're charged with a crime, or you're being investigated for one, feel free to give my office a call. Again, my firm's been defending people for more than 20 years, and we'll listen to what happened. We'll see if it makes sense for us to get on board and get in front of this for you, and we'll be there for you. Thank you.